unlike any other episode, it felt like I used to think of what challenge to give you. But उल्टा मुझे challenge कर दिया तो फिर ठीक है मतलब.
Writing an art as an art form, as a practice, as a discipline, has an outcome to it, where strangers can see what's coming out of your head. Let's play one game here. Fortunately, ये mic हर जगह पे मिलता है.
Unfortunately, ये mic रखा है ये रूम पे.
अगर सोनू निगम का काम किसी चिड़िया के वायरल वीडियो से चला गया तो वो माइक जिस तरीके से लोगों को याद रहेगा वो कैंपेन आज तक बनाने ही है.
चल जीत गया.
You know how to write a thing that can sell a product 500 kilometers away from you.
Yeah.
टी-शर्ट पे जाना चाहिए. हाँ भाई मेरे साथ भी हो रहा है. कहाँ से शुरू किया था हमने? करेले से शुरू किया था. Where did you end up?
To Fardeen Khan.
You ended up with Fardeen. I want people to just have fun when they get logging into their creative teams.
Welcome back to Beyond the Brief. My name is Sandeep Menon. I'm the Managing Director for Fat Monk Production. This show is for those people who's actually thought beyond a brief, which is the usual taglines and the mood boards. Because creativity is not something I feel that has to be inside the box, and as much as it's overrated, think outside the box. This is a show that we aim to have a conversation and go beyond it. Today on the show, I'm actually happy to have Sahil Siddiqui, who's worked in a position of a global creative head in Pepper. He's worked in Watt Consult. He's worked at Dentsu. He comes with a bundle of experience of almost 15 plus years. And what he brings in is not just his talent as a creative director, but also he is a stand-up comedian, he's a philosopher, he's a writer, he is a theatre actor. So today I'm going to have a deep dive conversation with Sahil. Sahil has led creative strategy for almost 200 plus brands, and he has his names attached to a couple of famous campaigns like Thanks a Dot, Give Subtitles to Suicide, and these are all well spoken about campaign. Today, we are not going to much deep dive into how this campaign came into action, but we are going to actually crack how he, as a creative person, deep dives into any seed of thought and goes about making it successful. So, Sahil, wow,
Hello.
you're here.
Yes. ChatGPT deep search.
Thanks.
से बहुत डीप गए हो. वेबसाइट के अंदर जाके सारा सामान निकाला तुम लोगों ने. आई अग्री विद एवरीथिंग.
वेबसाइट ChatGPT में डाला.
सब कुछ साथ में आया है. इट्स ऑल ट्रू. द फिलोसफर पार्ट इज माय फेवरेट वन. आई थिंक अपने करियर का अगला स्टिंट मैं वही करना चाहूंगा. एंड दैट्स वेयर द मनी इज नाउ, बिकॉज ऑल द वर्क इज एक्चुअली हैपनिंग ऑन एआई. तो काम खाली फिलोसफी में बचा हुआ है अब. लवली बीइंग हियर.
Thank you so much for making your time, actually, because I was excited to talk to you because when we connected on the phone also, right? You were that first person who said that bring it on. जो पूछना है मेरे को पूछ लेना. Challenge me. Yeah, भाई मतलब मेरे को challenge कर ले. तो I said wow, फिर तो मतलब कुछ तो होने वाला है. So let's wait and watch what's going to be in this episode and stay tuned. So Sahil, this episode I wanted to keep it in such a way that we do very less serious talks, and let's have some good fun with respect to rewinding and going back to that Sahil who basically maybe initial days wanted to become a stand-up comedian, or maybe that Sahil who basically never thought that who will come into this career. What is that inspiration and what is that start?
Last time I remember enjoying studying in school was when I was studying physics and maths. Okay. I was good at it. And uska default next step engineering hona chahiye tha. That's where it went off for me.
Both are my enemies, maths and physics.
I was pretty good at it. I was pretty happy to study those things. But uske baad engineer banna zaruri nahi hota hai, which I didn't know about. So I went through the whole thing, engineering kiya. But while engineering was going on, and उस ज़माने में, at least in my ecosystem, the idea that you could become a creative professional as a career, ये था ही नहीं. Like that was nowhere around me because I was not hanging out with mass comm kids. I was
Correct.
hanging out with science students who became engineers. I was hanging out with science students who became doctors and had to go to US after that. So that was not an option. But deep down, जब होता है तो कुछ होता है. So me and a whole bunch of us frustrated engineers, we started a college magazine.
Achha,
We were
nice.
inspired by Mad Magazine. We were inspired by National Lampoon. That's where it began. We had a magazine in college called Big Fish Mag. I would write for it. I would draw for every illustration. I would make the cover art. I would do all of those things. Not because someone asked me to, because that's what comes naturally to you as a kid.
Yeah.
So we went through all of it. I even remember, this is way before I got into advertising. मैंने call center में काम करना शुरू किया था. I worked in 2 call centers because it's a part of growing up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
When you're
वो
growing up in
culture में
Mumbai.
वो fixed था.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was working in a process where I would get calls from US clients. And I had the capability of taking remote control of their system from India. So I would take remote control of their system and I would go to their browser and turn their landing page, the home page of the browser, to the Big Fish Mag website. Okay. So I would get website from US, or traffic from US for no damn reason, just for kicks. But it was a magazine. That's where I think the idea that writing and art as an art form, as a practice, as a discipline, has an outcome to it, has an outcome for audience, has an outcome where strangers can see what's coming out of your head. Correct. Which is basically what our entire business is, right?
Yeah.
We write a thing, we make a thing, and strangers who we will never run into are getting influenced by it. They are reacting to it, either getting angry or loving it, and you never know them. So that began very organically because me and my frustrated engineer friends, we had a need to make a magazine. So हमने वहाँ से शुरू किया. और मैं पहली बार जब इंटरव्यू के लिए गया था, my CV is made up of 10th mark, 12th mark and BEIT scores, and I have a magazine. Yeah. My portfolio is I have a magazine. There's nothing else. I am not from BMM. I have no clue what needs to be made. What is a portfolio? Nothing. I showed up because we were in the middle of a recession at that time. And I remember this it was a moment of epiphany I had where I was telling myself, people have been telling me since I've been a kid, ki you are creative, you should do creative, you should do something in that career. And I didn't know what that means, right? If there's no mentor for you to tell you that there is a thing, there is no Bade Bhaiya who has started writing ads. I didn't have that Bade Bhaiya who started writing ads. So who tells you? No one. So I had this moment of epiphany ki the entire world's economy has crashed. There are no jobs in the market. What other sign do you need to go and apply for a job in media? Like to become a creative professional? What other sign do you need? If there is a God, the God has crashed the global economy. What other sign do you need now? What bigger sign for you to go for a damn interview? I showed up and it just, you've played Lego and when you put the right piece together, that's what it felt like. I showed up for an interview and just felt so natural. Whatever me as a kid who likes to draw, likes to write and likes to talk was doing naturally every single day, there is an entire career around it where people get paid and things get made. I had no clue that this world exists. It was finding a world and I have just been enjoying being in that world for the past 15, 16 years now. That's basically all
Lovely.
it is. Because whatever you learn from engineering, I have a feeling it gives you a leg up in creative.
नहीं मतलब ultimately it has two sides.
हाँ.
एक आप because आपने इतना ज़्यादा पढ़ाई किया ना.
Correct. शायद
ये सब बहुत easy है आपके लिए. और हमारे मेरे साइड से देखा जाए तो बिल्कुल पढ़ाई नहीं किया था. तो ये सब ना learning है और मजा मतलब it's a fun thing to do.
Right.
तो इसका दोनों तरीका है मतलब वही है कि मैं गया था विजुअल कम्युनिकेशन क्योंकि मेरे डैड ने बोला था इंजीनियरिंग चलते हैं और इंजीनियरिंग में जो प्रिंसिपल ने बोला था कि सर विद द काइंड ऑफ मार्क्स दैट योर सन हैज इन मैथ्स एंड फिजिक्स आई थिंक केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग इज व्हाट इज फिट फॉर हिम. तो आई वाज लाइक एक तो केमिस्ट्री का एबीसीडी नहीं आता.
नहीं, you didn't have good marks.
I didn't have good marks. So the chemical engineering is the least one which is in demand in that college. And he said one line which hit my father very hard. He said, people with this mark now, the problem is we have some 200 to 300 people who are sitting in the first year for the last 3 years. I don't want to add more number of people to that. तो मेरे डैड के दिल पे ऐसे टच किया तो डैड ने बोला तेरे को जो करना है कर ले. अभी.
ये ऑप्शन बच्चों को देना नहीं चाहिए. तेरे को जो करना है कर ले. It's such a risky.
नहीं तो मेरे पास 2 दिन था. मतलब अभी तो मतलब I have to go learn, find out अभी करना क्या है. क्योंकि अभी तक ट्यूनिंग ये था कि इंजीनियरिंग करना है.
करेक्ट.
अब 2 दिन में यू हैव टू फिगर आउट न्यू करियर.
करेक्ट.
तो जो आया था पहले वो था विजुअल कम्युनिकेशन. चल मतलब इसमें फिल्म मेकिंग लिखा है तो दिस इज व्हाट आई नीड टू डू. And then that happened.
I wouldn't go out and tell someone भाई तो content creator बन जा. The statement still is do what comes naturally to you.
Yeah.
The number of things that come naturally to you that have become viable, that has expanded. Your relationship to what your career needs to be just has to become a little more, I would say a little more involved.
Correct.
पहले नहीं होता था involved. डिग्री है, डिग्री से क्या होता है? 4 ऑप्शन होते हैं. वही करना होता है.
Robotic.
Right? So that default has gone away.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm seeing in every single interview that I'm going to. There is a clear conflict, there is a bit of annoyance because all the options are unclear versus how things were wrong and clear to all of us when we were younger.
Correct.
Right? 4 ही option है उसमें से कुछ करना है. Now accept it. Right? Which is not the case anymore.
Yeah. But you know, if I ask you, suppose, say one of the campaigns, let's say, you know, the campaign which you had done for this thing, the think the dot, right? I mean, thanks a dot. Yeah, thanks a dot. Suppose if that is something which you have to go to the boardroom.
Yeah.
And sell it to the last person because आपने 4 round तो हो चुके हैं.
It was sold 7 times.
Yeah.
And it was sold in a small room with 2 people in front of me. A big room with 1 person in front of me and the biggest room in their office with a round table of 15 people, which it was part of the yearly presentation. It was sold in every single format available. There was no stopping it and I went through all of it, not because it had to be sold for revenue. I was selling it because that's what you want to call it. We'll call it selling. Because I was really passionate about the idea.
Yeah.
It was coming from, I have not seen this thing ever. I have not seen Braille and dots, Braille being used for breast cancer. That instinct is what I was chasing. It required me to go through a conference room with 20 people with very massive experience in the finance space and talk about it. You do it.
Yeah.
But I did not wake up one day and say, "Aaj bech ke aayenge." Not a single day.
Correct.
Not a single day.
Yeah.
What I teach the team also is that work on the core, because if you are in this department called the creative team, if you are in this department called the strategy team, what you are doing is unique to you.
Yeah.
The sales department, which is business development, the business leads of your organization will always want to share their responsibility with you.
Yeah.
At one point, somewhere, someone from that department will always come and say, "Mere saath bechna." You will never go to them and say, "Mere saath thoda creative khilna."
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
What you are doing, and it could simply be writing, it could be drawing, it could be going and talking to consumers on the street for all you care. Those things are unique to you.
Yeah.
That's what needs to be celebrated. And I have a feeling when I'm talking to everyone in the industry today, the joy of creativity, the joy of solving problems has diminished today. So many market pressures. AI is the biggest market pressure. Reducing revenues is a market pressure. Agencies, competition with each other is a market pressure. The fundamental joy of being in this industry, I am feeling that people are going away from the joy because the business pressures are on everyone's head.
Yeah.
Even though you are not trained on a business pressure, yaar.
Correct.
तुम बेचारे creative हो. You know how to write a thing that can sell a product 500 kilometers away from you.
Yeah.
You know how to do it.
Yeah.
But you are not being asked to do that anymore. The conversation with every single person in the organization that you have is revenue.
Yeah.
Excel
ROI.
sheet, ROI, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's bad, but at one point, one has to identify what is the core skill and what is an adapted skill. Any big campaign in my career which I look at, and I'm calling it big simply because my world is big to me.
Yeah.
It's big to no one else maybe.
Yeah.
Right? Any big important work of my career has been an outcome of taking things seriously that no one else was willing to take seriously.
Very nice.
That's the point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What else is there to good work?
Correct.
What else is there to a success story? You took a thing seriously that no one else saw, or you and your team got really excited about Baba. That moment happened, right?
Yeah.
And you start chasing it. And you will always, if you are a senior creative professional in the industry, in any space, you and your team constantly will feel yourself isolated when you are feeling that feeling. Because you don't get paid for that feeling.
Nice. Correct.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's something which you don't.
I have a feeling that the doom and gloom is because most of the business units of our organization, of every organization, don't know how to handle that feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't want a whole bunch of people feeling those things on the floor constantly because पता ही नहीं क्या करना है इसके साथ.
Correct.
Right? If you are excited about an idea, how soon can we change the conversation from I am excited about an idea to ROI क्या है इसका? Right? That's a simpler conversation to have, right?
Yeah.
And good for them. I am in no position, and neither will I ever want to make an industry where that conversation is not happening. But the specialists, for sure, are feeling a bit of diminishing in that spirit today.
Yeah.
Outside of this podcast also, when I'm meeting people, that is the same doom and gloom I'm seeing everywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
you must have felt it as
course,
well.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Well, there are also friends who call and says, ये सिर्फ मेरे लिए हो रहा है या ये तेरे लिए भी हो रहा है? मतलब this market which is diminishing.
Correct.
And budgets going very small.
Yeah.
Briefs, like pitches, हम 10 pitch करते हैं, उसमें से एक जो आते हैं वो भी मतलब मर के आते हैं.
Correct.
Okay, and then वही पूछते हैं कि भाई ये सब तेरे साथ भी हो रहा है या सिर्फ मेरे लिए हो रहा है?
तेरे साथ भी हो रहा है.
तो मैंने बोला हाँ मेरे साथ भी हो रहा है और सबके साथ वही हो रहा है.
मेरे साथ भी हो रहा है, टी शर्ट पे जाना चाहिए. हाँ भाई मेरे साथ भी हो रहा है.
I also sometimes say for the fun sake, कभी हम लोग मार्केट को as a reason लेते हैं just to feel good. चल यार मार्केट खराब है या चल दिवाली आ रहे हैं तो शायद उसके बाद ठीक हो जाएगा. अब क्रिसमस आ रहे हैं, क्रिसमस में सब छुट्टी पे चला गया. अब ये आ रहे हो उसके बाद ये ठीक हो जाएगा. But ultimately we are making a reason to just be in the game. Yeah.
Correct.
But in like how we said, like if you passionately, like, which is why you need somebody in the creative who can, and we are in the game of selling things, right? गाड़ी क्यों जाते हैं? क्योंकि गाड़ी एक बार एडवर्टाइजिंग मार्केटिंग सब कुछ हो गया, सब ऑलरेडी जो मार्केट रिव्यूज आना चालू हो गया, इसीलिए वो गाड़ी का सेलिंग इज ईजियर फॉर देम. तो वो पार्ट इज टेकन केयर. हमारे केस में वो नहीं है ना. हम नए चीजें लेके आ रहे हैं.
हमारी गाड़ी हर हफ्ते बदलती है.
हर हफ्ते बदलती है. एक पार्ट्स ऐड होते हैं. एक जो चीज ऐड हो रहा है ना, यू हैव टू सेल दैट आल्सो. And and plus what you and that's how a creative person like you would fit in that scheme of things, because ultimately you are the best, sorry to say, best salesman for selling the idea.
I am guilty.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, like whether it was Dentsu or whether it was What Consult or whether it is Pepper that you're talking about, they found this is the USP of this guy.
Yeah, no doubt.
And passion, creatives, everything aside, but from a business perspective, because I'm also talking from a business perspective.
Yes.
Yeah? For me, I would gauge the creative person who's going ahead, who shouldn't sell like me. If he's selling like me, then there is something wrong.
Yes.
in the whole thing. Yeah.
The selling is not optional. Just like making it is not optional.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
At one point, some active step has to be taken for both the things to come together. And we could very well call it team culture, company culture. We could very well call it skill set development in corporate jargon. But I have started feeling that, and this is from personal experiences, bridging that gap is where most organizations are either becoming successful or not becoming successful.
Absolutely.
And you could be any form of organization. You could be a production house, you could be an agency, you could very well be the internal team of a brand, right? The instinct to make is natural. To sell may not be natural. But what comes naturally to everyone is the need to express the idea clearly.
Absolutely.
Right? So I would actually, and this is a trick I use with my team, and because I'm also developing a theatrical show for advertising people.
Oh,
so
nice.
this is also a thing in my head right now. The skill to develop is express what is powerful clearly. Don't approach it as मैं बेचने जा रहा हूँ. Right?
Yeah,
There is
buy
a
it.
rephrasing of the thought there, and
Yeah.
I completely agree with the need
Buy
of
that.
the market to do
Yeah.
that, because that's what the word
Correct.
is. But I don't think big breakthroughs happen if you compartmentalize one from the other. The best business development people that I have ever worked with in my life, who were not working on the ideas along with me, who were not working on the decks with me, are people who have an inherent understanding of creative.
Correct.
Right?
Absolutely.
Because they know why it is on the deck. The worst business development talent, the worst salesman supposedly with a designation for selling I have worked with, are people who don't have an inherent understanding because they have compartmentalized it. Compartmentalizing is what one needs to work on, and this cannot be done by one person. This is a part of a team culture. This is part of who's talking, is why is it happening a certain way, and usually it works best in smaller units.
Yeah.
Like all good things in life,
Yeah.
it works best in smaller units.
Absolutely.
The bigger it becomes, the more compartmentalized it becomes, and the worse the distance between the original instinct and the final action is. That's where it goes for a toss. So
Superb.
the culture has to bridge that.
So, in a jam room session of yours, because I'm very curious to know how you get your other creative folks to pitch in ideas. Yeah. So, what's it like? Is it like pitch brief आ गया, चलो हमें आज बैठ के ideate करना है, या how do you build the curiousness of people who's working with you? Like, how do you build that energy?
I have not even said this to my teams over the years, but I approach every brainstorm session like it's a game. Okay? And successful exercises usually tend to work that way, in my experience.
Yeah.
So, the game, what is a game fundamentally? A game is you have an outcome to achieve,
Yeah.
and for that outcome, you are willing to struggle a little.
And you have a winner and you have a loser.
You have a winner, you have a loser, and loser is fine. Loser
Correct.
is part of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
process.
of course.
Right? It's by
Yeah,
the
yeah.
way. So, brainstorm sessions, what I do with my team when there is enough time, and it's not a weekend
Yeah.
brief, Monday को pitch करना है, Friday को brief है, Monday को pitch करना है,
और परसों शूट करना है.
परसों shoot करना है, those kinds, जहाँ पर the brief is coming basically for जो दिमाग में आता है भेज दो, right? That's it.
Proactive pitches also maybe.
Yeah, proactive pitches पे भी time दिया जा सकता है.
Yeah.
I have worked on proactive ideas for a year.
Yeah.
At one point in my life. So it's all market dynamics, it's all what's happening. But if you approach it, or at least that's what I like to do, I approach it as a game, where a game could simply be, we have to fill up this board. There is a whiteboard. The game is everyone in the team has to fill up the whiteboard.
Okay.
You have to fill up the whiteboard with your first thoughts.
Okay.
That's it. That's the game. Of course, it is all first thoughts. So the whole bunch of them will go out of the window. But in doing that game, the entire team has
Got
gotten
warmed up.
rid of the first bunch of crap from their head.
Warm up.
The game was fill up the board.
Correct.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like it's stuff like that. And the way we run it, or way at least I used to run it, is I would leave people alone with the whiteboard. You are alone with the whiteboard, fill up whatever you come up with, and then leave. The next person will be alone with whatever hell you have written and the whiteboard. He will read your stuff and write whatever the hell comes to his mind. Third person comes in, fill up the whiteboard. Fill up the
Chinese
whiteboard.
whispers,
Fill up the whiteboard. No one talks to each other. Everyone has access to the same brief. Everyone has access to their own faculty. Everyone has their access to own research. You have 1 hour, 2 hours to do this, and then we are going to fill up the whiteboard. After the whiteboard is filled, I will come in.
Yeah.
And I will remove things from it, or I will pick things from it. But this is a way I like to conduct creative exercises, creative thinking. It for sure is not done by brief hai.
Key points लिखो.
Ideas सुनाओ.
Like key points
Ideas
लिखो.
सुनाओ.
Yeah, ideas सुनाओ.
That's not the way to do work.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So, so what's it that you're developing with respect
Oh yes.
to, yeah.
It's a very random thing in my portfolio also, where we did a mental health based improv show for about 2 hours with the management and with guests and everyone. And it was fun for a serious subject at a time like the pandemic, where mental health is really, really important.
Yeah.
So you get to play with the entire format very openly once you buy into it. So I will not give you many details out, but I'll tell you that it is specifically for advertising professionals.
Okay.
And you will enter the event only if you work in an ad agency.
Oh, nice.
That's it.
So it's an IP which you're building.
It's an IP. It's theatrical problem solving on the fly, which could very well be a brief. You will bring your real brief and we will actually solve it on a stage in front of you with your own participation. You could be a copy guy, you could be strategy, you could be whoever.
I mean, I would want to try it.
One very simple thing. This may or may not make it to the final show because it's a very elaborate concept. Let's play one game here. Okay? This mic is the product. Okay?
Okay.
You brought this brief to us that this is a mic and we want to sell this mic, and the question for agency people, us, is what is the best way to sell it? So this game is called, it's a game. Okay? Don't approach it you're solving a brief.
Yeah,
this is a thing.
Yeah.
This is a mic.
Yeah.
This is not mic product. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Okay? The game is called Fortunately, Unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay? I am fortunately, you are Mr. Unfortunately.
Okay.
Very simple thing. I will say a statement which starts with fortunately. You will, as soon as I finish, you will start a statement which starts with unfortunately.
Not necessary I need to connect to your...
You are
it
free
can
to
be
do
any
it.
random
You are
unfortunate
free
situation.
to do it. If you want to connect, go for it.
Okay.
But the only rule here, because it's a game, is that there shouldn't be a gap between us. As soon as I finish my thought, you have to jump in. As soon as you finish your thought, I have to jump in. It's speed.
Okay.
That's the only rule.
Okay.
There is no other rule. There is no rule on how
whether
much...
it makes sense or
doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Okay, you want to go absurd, you go absurd. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Right? The only rule, it's a game,
Okay.
is रुकना नहीं है.
ठीक
Okay?
है.
ये mic है. खेले?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Fortunately, ये mic हर जगह पे मिलता है.
Unfortunately, ये माइक रखा है ये रूम पे.
Fortunately, इस रूम से इस माइक को बाहर ले जाना बहुत आसान है क्योंकि पोर्टेबल है.
Unfortunately, ये माइक की वजन काफ़ी ज़्यादा है.
Fortunately, गाड़ियाँ भी उतनी ही आसानी से अवेलेबल है ओला और उबर के थ्रू कि ये माइक वहाँ पहुँच जाए जहाँ पे लोग इस्तेमाल करने के लिए बहुत एक्साइटेड है.
बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली ये माइक पेड़ के ऊपर है.
अनफॉर्चुनेटली पेड़ के ऊपर वो माइक को अगर छोड़ दिया जाए तो वो माइक सारी चिड़ियों की आवाज़ अच्छे से रिकॉर्ड कर करके इंटरनेट पे वायरल जा सकती है.
अनफॉर्चुनेटली शायद सोनू निगम की काम निकल जाए बिकॉज ऑफ दिस माइक.
फॉर्चुनेटली अगर सोनू निगम का काम किसी चिड़िया के वायरल वीडियो से चला गया तो वो माइक जिस तरीके से लोगों को याद रहेगा वो कैंपेन आज तक बनाने ही है.
चल जीत गए.
But you see what's the beauty here?
Yeah.
We are not beholden by business
Yeah.
objective and brief and everything.
Yeah.
खेलने के लिए if you bring your best self to the table,
Yeah.
there is
absolutely.
so much fun to be had. We started with a mic.
Yeah.
We ended up with live bird recordings on a tree.
Tree.
In
To
less
Sonu
than a
Nigam's
minute.
career.
Sonu Nigam's career and a tree. There is an influencer marketing campaign in there.
Yeah.
Influencer versus a random nature object.
Yeah.
This is a campaign that has not happened. Why the fuck? Yeah, that's idea. तू. This is a good idea. Yeah? This has not happened before.
Yeah.
This is less than a minute. Now it is up to you as a person, as a team, as an organization, what to do with this. अब ये आ गया है. This
Correct.
is on the whiteboard now.
Yeah.
अब क्या करोगे?
Nice,
What you
good
do with
stuff.
this is up to you, right? And this took how long?
Hardly what?
Less
a
than
minute?
a minute.
Yeah.
Less than a minute. There is
Nice.
one more game if you want to play.
Let's go. Good fun.
This I'll challenge you in this one. ठीक है?
हाँ.
इसमें मैं कम बात करूंगा. ठीक है? I'm going to be the conductor in this.
अच्छा.
अगर फिर हम रिवर्स भी
My
कर
God.
लेंगे करना होगा तो ठीक
ठीक
है?
है.
Simple एकदम. The game is called positive negative. If my thumb is up, it's positive. If my thumb is down, it's negative.
हाँ.
You just have to follow my thumb.
अच्छा.
ठीक है?
I just have to say positive, negative.
That's it.
हाँ.
नहीं. पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव मतलब जो चीज बात हो रही है ना जो भी प्रोडक्ट है हमारा
हाँ.
उसके बारे में पॉजिटिव बात तब तक करते रहना जब तक मेरा थंब ऊपर है.
Oh, okay.
जैसे ही मेरा थंब नीचे गया यू हैव टू स्टार्ट टॉकिंग नेगेटिव. मैं
ठीक है.
कितनी देर ऊपर रखता हूँ कितनी देर नीचे रखता हूँ मेरे ऊपर है.
ठीक है, सही है.
ठीक है.
या तो एक माइक है अपना.
हाँ नहीं हम
हाँ.
चेंज करेंगे ना. ऐसे थोड़ी होता है. ठीक है. टीम से पूछेंगे. टीम गिव अस एन ऑब्जेक्ट. गिव अस एनीथिंग दैट इज नॉट अ माइक. तुम्हारे लाइफ से बोलो. आज स्टूडियो आते वक्त क्या दिखा तुम लोगों को सड़क पर? एनीथिंग. सब्जी. विद सब्जी. लौकी. नहीं. नहीं, वो कैंपेन हो चुका है. नहीं, कोई और सब्जी बता. करेला.
करेला, हाँ ओके फाइन, करेला.
करेला.
या
Positive, negative.
या
3, 2, 1.
करेला बहुत कड़वा है. करेला को वो पीता है जो जिसको कोई मतलब ही सिक और ही नीड्स अ रीज़न टू ड्रिंक दैट. करेला पिएगा तो हेल्थ के लिए अच्छा है और विटामिन बेनिफिट्स देता है. और करेला इजीली मिलता है रोड पे. सुबह आप जाओ, फ्रेश करेला मिलेगा आपको. करेला आपने बचपन से खाते हुए देखा है तो मम्मी ने बनाया है तो उसका अलग अलग रेसिपीज़ होता है. करेला से यू कैन मेक फूड ऑल्सो एंड यू कैन ड्रिंक जूस ऑल्सो. करेला इज़ अ आयुर्वेदा में बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट एक रेसिपी है. करेला एक्चुअली वो पीता है जिसके पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है जो वेजिटेबल्स खाने के लिए. और करेला एक्चुअली वैसा एक वेजिटेबल है जो बेसिकली काइंड ऑफ मेंटल प्रॉब्लम से चल रहा है बेसिकली. बिकॉज इट्स फेसिंग सो मेनी रिजेक्शंस आफ्टर गिविंग सो मच टू बॉडी ऑल्सो. ओके. एंड करेला ऐसा एक चीज़ है कि जो अपना लाइक इट्स लाइक फरदीन खान in a way, like who's a good actor and just can't make it, or like a Vivek Oberoi maybe, you know.
You got the breakthrough?
Yeah.
You felt it?
Yeah.
Right? कहाँ से शुरू किया था हमने? करेले से शुरू किया था. Where did you end up?
To Fardeen Khan.
You ended up with Fardeen Khan. You ended up with a personality. You ended up with an entire different world built around the Karela.
Correct.
Took it less than a minute.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice.
And it was fun, right?
Yeah, super fun.
I want people to just have fun when they get logging into their creative team's work.
Yeah.
I don't know how many days it's been since I've met a creative who's having fun at work.
Yeah.
कोई login ही नहीं कर रहा है काम करने के लिए आज के.
No, but that also depends on who is making you work also, right? Because
yeah. But that's the entire industry today, right?
Yeah.
That's the entire industry.
It really depends on that. मतलब it's ultimately ऐसा एक boss मिल गया. Guys, come on, we got a new brief today. These are the key points. This is the brands. This is the ROI. This is the TG. This is this thing. अब सोचो.
Yeah.
मतलब
It's why तो मुझे पता है actually everyone would have the same answers. The market pressures, the changing ecosystem, the changing dynamics, the changing workforce. All of these would be conference topics that one has all heard. But in responding to these realities, if you change your fundamental mix, your fundamental masala, then you're left with nothing. Right?
Nice.
I think I want to work on the cliche of making advertising fun again.
Yeah, definitely.
That's all I want to do.
No, but it's more than cliche.
Creation should become fun again.
Yeah, but that is what even Hemant was selling the same thing. You know, if there's one thing that he wants to bring back in advertising, he said that's just fun.
Exactly.
I mean, he said,
exactly.
Yeah, he said I just want to bring back fun and just think for the sake of thinking.
The joy
of thinking. Yeah.
Again, very personal realization. Best work in my experience has been when we get to be stupid at the top of our intelligence.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. When you actually think, don't actually take the attempt of thinking.
Correct.
Yeah.
What we just did.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
If you are being stupid at the top of your intelligence versus when you are trying to be right at the top of your intelligence.
Yeah.
Right? In the first case, if you fail, you will still end up with something new.
Yeah.
That someone will figure out the worth of.
Correct.
In the second case, if you fail, you go wrong.
Correct.
Because you were trying to be right.
Correct. And you will keep going wrong.
And you will keep going wrong, and then one day you will get right, which is where all companies and all startups are made.
deadline निकल गया होगा.
Correct. But ये जो instinct होता है ना, उसको इतना ज़्यादा दबा दिया गया है इस वक्त. I'm seeing this happening in the OTT market, in the OTT space, in agencies, in production houses, creative departments, strategy departments. The joy has just been seeped out. Earlier, it used to feel like it's only a thing that's a big organization issue. I don't think that's the case anymore.
Yeah.
Even in smaller organizations, even in smaller shops, the joy of logging in for having fun that could be worth lakhs and crores.
Yeah.
That has just gone away.
Correct. Very, very true.
And I don't know कौन सी नदी है जिसके ऊपर डैम बना दिया गया है, but we have to open that dam again.
No,
Because
see,
we as an industry will suffer otherwise.
I think that's what the shows like this, and even for that matter, the senior folks who are watching this would realize कि yeah, man, I mean the fun is gone.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, maybe the trigger has to happen, for anything to happen. So maybe this would be the trigger, for all you know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Fine.
Yeah. Let's wait for the best.
Let's hope for it.
Yeah. Let's hope and wait. Yeah. Unlike any other episode, it felt like I used to think of what challenge to give you. उल्टा मुझे challenge कर दिया तो फिर ठीक है, मतलब अच्छा है, मतलब I had good fun. But I'm just thinking, if at all, if I have to say, the fact that in for the brands these days, the whole aspect of risk taking, or rather playing safe with respect to any conversation, या तो वो अपने S&P को पूछेंगे कि इसमें क्या क्या नहीं कर सकते हैं, या वो एग्जिस्टिंग रेफरेंसेस देखेगा, बोलेगा कि ये ब्रांड ने कर दिया तो हम नहीं करेंगे. ओके, बट हु सेड दैट उन लोगों ने किया तो हम उसका एक दूसरा तरीका नहीं है सोचने के लिए. इफ़ यू हैव नॉट डन एनीथिंग रॉन्ग एंड यू आर एक्चुअली थिंकिंग bold idea, because you've done bold ideas, which is why I'm asking you, because it is again I'm saying sell, the word sell, because it's a hard sell.
There are two parts, or rather I would want to break this question down into two thoughts. Just the idea of risk. As in life, it's true also in business, in corporates, in brands. Who becomes a risk taker? You are either absolutely comfortable with where you are, or you are absolutely desperate. Which means you are either close to or are the market leader, comfortable, or you are a challenger who has no other option. Risk is never taken in the middle.
Yeah.
Risk, these are the two types of personalities who take a risk in life.
Yeah.
Right? When we are working with corporates, and I have done that, I have had the fortune in multiple parts of my career where I have had to work with the same corporate house over a very long stint, where I have seen them going from a challenger brand to a leader brand. My relationship with that house changed when the business fortune of that organization changed. They used to be risk taker when they were a challenger. The appetite for risk reduced when the same people in the same organization with the same P&L, with the same bonus structure, are now market leaders. Correct?
Yeah.
So one has to understand what the business reality of this corporate house is. That's point one. Second point, S&P and referencing. These are the bane of our industry, is what I very often feel. But when I think about it a little more, why do these things exist? These things exist because there is a general distrust towards advertising industries. Yeah. From a corporate house, the relationship very often is not that of trust and confidence. It is that of necessity and not having enough resources.
But what is the use of creating a campaign or an ad that everybody likes?
I agree with you. I completely agree with you. Strategically, one should approach it as a market breakthrough rather than a nice idea to do, which is also
somebody
good.
Should dislike, no?
Absolutely. But that's a conversation that you as a creative leader, you as an agency, or you as an internal team head, you need to have that conversation, which is in a way outside of the idea that you're pitching. Yeah. The idea is whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, of course.
I have done campaigns on suicide prevention with insurance players, suicide prevention. It's a no-go.
Yeah, I know. First thing I would have said, suicide, actually it's very
negative.
It's
a no-go, right?
It's a
no-go, absolutely. I was working with the Suicide Prevention India Foundation at that. As in, I found them because I wanted to do this idea with someone. And that mismatch went through because all of us, everyone in the conference room, everyone in that meeting was in a challenger mode in our own careers or in our own life at that time. The business reality matched my reality of what the idea needs to be, and we ended up making it. But I personally will never make that the rule. It was true at that time for that individual, for that business. I need to go about finding those people who the business problem is getting solved for. At the end of the day, no matter what the idea is, it could be a bold idea, it could be a safe idea, it could be a bold play, it could be a safe play, doesn't matter. The business reality and the relationship that the creative department has with the business reality has to be spoken of very clearly.
Yeah.
Once we have that clarity, once we are on the same table talking about it, and the business reality is not being spoken with someone else while you are the one who is building the creative, once that once that gap is bridged, I don't think bold ideas are off the table anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, because you know precisely what the business needs and you have an idea to solve it. That idea just happens to be bold.
Nice.
It happens to be bold.
Yeah.
But it's solving the same problem.
Well said. Yeah.
Right? That's the difficult work that needs to be done. Very often it gets missed out, and we get reduced to the conversation gets reduced to brief and deadline and idea and campaign and influencer and media spends. That's not the way to think about your own career. That's not the way to think about advertising also.
Yeah.
Those are the operational issues.
Correct.
Those will happen.
Bringing to the last part of the show, which I love discussing with all the guests that I bring in this show.
AI.
Bang on. ये सबने पूछा है क्या?
AI कहाँ नहीं होगा? मतलब we didn't speak AI aggressively throughout the interview. So it was in the air.
Yeah.
I could feel it.
Yeah.
It had to happen.
आप prompt के लिए जाम करोगे क्या?
So first of all,
जो सही prompt लिखे.
बिल्कुल होना चाहिए, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, ठीक है. आई एम नॉट नेगेटिव अबाउट AI. आई एम वेरी ऑप्टिमिस्टिक अबाउट इट.
नहीं मेरा सर्विस है, मैं कभी नहीं.
मैं मानता हूँ मेरे भाई, बहुत सही. आई थिंक one needs to treat it precisely for what it is and nothing more than that.
No, I'm just saying, with respect to like how ideas are put on the board. Of course,
prompt engineering. You will need prompt engineers.
Yeah, so you need somebody who's creatively prompting, right? Is the best creative person in future.
I was doing a career counseling session with one of my old friends recently, and he was going for an interview. And he's a senior in the industry. And there was some there was some concern he had with AI happening and everything. So, and he's good at AI. He's good at it. He knows how to do everything. And yet, because it's a shift, right? Everyone is not used to the shift. All the conversation around AI that we're having today happens in two ways. It's either the business heads having that conversation or the young people who are comfortable with AI. That's where the conversation gets lost. Everything in the middle tends to become a very negative conversation around AI, because we start seeing job loss,
Correct.
we start seeing loss of talent, we start seeing all of that, right?
Especially ये जो 35 के ऊपर वाले लोग.
Correct. Right? Which is where we are, mid and senior level, right? And I don't think that's the way to do it. My recommendation to him is what I will ask everyone to do, and it's a positive recommendation. I told him, you don't approach an interview today as a single individual with a portfolio. You don't enter the room if you are still interviewing and not starting your own setup. Don't approach it as a single individual with a portfolio. Approach it as a single individual representing a team of 5. 1 human and 4 agents.
Correct. Good.
Correct? Yeah. You are yourself a team of 5. The 4 agents are either the ones you made yourself for whatever the hell it is, or you have borrowed it from somewhere, or you are calling these agents just the capability of prompt engineering that you have learned from somewhere. Whatever the hell it is, that is how one needs to think about their career today. You may not like it, but this is where we are.
But do you imagine walking into a set where a robot is lighting?
I think it's very easy. That would be the easy part. Of course it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen, and we may not even need robots as many if we start moving to a green screen that can be changed very easily in post.
Yeah, I mean, we just shot recently a film in Unreal, where I think
it lovely, right?
Yeah, so it was a great learning experience for me, because I hired
you all
10 props.
Made the background?
Yeah, I had
Beautiful,
10 props.
Yeah. Beautiful.
We did a airplane, a charter plane. We did a black tie event. We did
अगर इसको सच में कॉस्ट लगाना होता, कितना होता है इसका कॉस्ट?
कम से कम 1.5 करोड़.
तो कैसे नहीं है ना? Beautiful.
Yeah. So we managed to do it. So where kind of it was a learning for me, because आज तक मैं आर्ट डायरेक्टर को 10 प्रॉप का रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं दिया है, वो भी सोच रहा होगा कि यार इतने सारे स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ा उसने, उसको समझ में नहीं आ रहा था.
Very nice, yeah.
Okay.
Very nice.
So
Virtual production is
virtual
happening.
production,
Very good. Beautiful.
and it was a total learning for us. We got an amazing output also
Very nice.
out of it. Only thing what we learned in that span of thing is pre के लिए थोड़ा time रखो, post के लिए थोड़ा सा
Correct.
और अच्छे से time रखो.
Correct.
Because if you think that pre में सब sort हो गया, नहीं भाई.
हाँ.
Post में भी बहुत काम है.
Yeah.
Okay, so इसमें only thing what you're saving is that you get to see before shooting everything,
Right,
so you are
right.
on a safe side on the day of shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
Less surprises.
Less surprises. That's the only thing.
Right.
And rest of it, cost wise भी ये नहीं बोलूँगा कि बहुत कम है.
हाँ.
But 1.5 crore नहीं spend करना पड़ा. 1/3 of it.
Like it became possible.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that project was not possible to begin with. Right?
Absolutely no.
Because
5
of virtual
backgrounds,
production that happened.
Yeah, 5 different backgrounds. Even
Correct.
with one outdoor mountain top. मतलब and that too. जब हमने बोला virtual production में add करेगा, clients ask became like, can we add this area का mountain?
Yes, we can. Yes, we
It's
can.
like it went to an extent where it post में end of the day they said the mountain is too flat. I said, shall I change it? It's like, give me another mountain.
Yeah.
So it was so easy.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, see, this is not, I don't think it's even a conversation anymore that AI will change industry or not. It has changed it.
Yeah.
It will change it even more.
Yeah.
The most interesting thing about AI that I always keep telling myself is whatever AI you're using is the worst it will be ever.
Yeah.
Right now.
Absolutely.
It is the worst version of the AI today.
Yeah.
It is going to get better.
Correct.
There is no way it's
It's
not
a
going to
beta
happen.
in a way.
Yes. We are training it. Every single time you do virtual production,
Correct.
you are training it for the next 10 that are going to happen.
Correct.
So it's all happening. There is no way to run away from it, and one shouldn't run away from it because you are in this for the joy of creation, my friend.
Correct.
The creation becomes way more easier if you have tools. There are new tools. The discomfort of learning them, once you get over it, there is so much more to be done.
Awesome.
Once the fun is back, everything will happen.
Yeah. Let's bring the fun back. We will get it back. Don't worry. Yeah. Last but not the least, just 2-3 fun questions which I wanted to ask you. I thought I'll have fun with you. So, which is worse to you, attending feedbacks or attending Zoom calls? Client feedbacks or Zoom calls?
When feedback happens on a Zoom call, that is the worst. I like feedback. I like feedback up to a limit. Up to a limit.
You're a client.
Because I don't see feedback as a negation of my work. क्योंकि मैं वो सुनता ही नहीं हूँ. Feedback is an opportunity to connect.
नहीं, definitely.
That's it. ठीक है.
But
nothing beyond a certain point.
हाँ,
Right?
ये line के लिए wait कर रहा था
आगे नहीं जाना. I have nothing wrong with it. I don't want to send a thing in the void and it only needs to come back with approval. I don't want it. I want to engage, and feedback is a industry recognized format of engaging. I'm fine with that. But एक point तक. उसके आगे नहीं.
Correct.
उसके आगे feedback ही नहीं हुआ ना. फिर उसके आगे rewrite हो गया.
Correct.
Feedback तक
Remake हो गया.
नहीं. Feedback तक मैं खुश हूँ. उसके आगे मत जाओ यार.
Yeah. What is that one campaign you want to delete from your mind? Don't say the name of the campaign, but you can probably say the instance of it. Why you want to?
There was a holy campaign we had done long back. It was the worst shoot I have done in my life. It was not my script. I didn't write it. I just had to be on the shoot. I had to do the creative director thing while it was someone else's idea. Everything that could go wrong on a set went wrong.
Yeah.
And it went wrong in a way that it is visible in the output.
Yeah.
It didn't go wrong for it to become a story of सब कुछ बुरा हुआ था पर देखो output कितना अच्छा है. नहीं. It went wrong और दिख रहा है it went wrong.
There's a bhandar of fuck-ups.
दिख रहा है. We missed out on shooting one entire chunk of the script that was to be shot before the color is applied. और color apply हो गया हमारे actor को. And it turned out the color was a permanent gulal.
Oh my god.
And we have to go back and shoot a sequence which was pre the color was applied. So जो makeup किया है भाई का उसमें matte finish वाला.
Oh my god.
He is looking.
ऐसे matte लगा दिया ना.
कुछ नहीं कर. There is no way to save it. There is no. You can see it. It's so bad. He's looking normal in first part of the film, and then 2 scenes later, because it was the chunk before the gulal is applied, he's looking flat, and then color apply होता है, and देन उस दिन सेट पर बारिश भी हो गई थी. So every single thing that in a production can go wrong went wrong on the set that day.
Yeah.
And I want to, but I still don't want to remove it here from my memory. Like I don't have a single piece of work that I want to remove, because the worst piece of work becomes a funny story.
Funny and a learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
So ऐसा कुछ निकालने
like
का
I was
कुछ है ही
talking to Venki. I asked him, do you watch bad films? He said, yeah, I watched MSG in theater. He said. So he's like,
मैंने miss कर दिया वो.
Yeah. So he's like, I mean, I also watch bad films. और मैं bad films actually 2 दिन लेके देखता हूँ, because
नहीं होता है.
नहीं होता है, मतलब yeah, but ultimately complete करता हूँ मैं,
Yeah.
just to learn what not to do, basically.
Yeah.
Awesome. I had fun time, okay,
Same,
in this episode, and I wish we had more time to keep chatting, but then content कोई देखेगा नहीं.
10 सेकंड के
होना
क्लिप,
चाहिए ना,
10 सेकंड के क्लिप डाल के पूरे पेज पे भर दे.
Attention span का problems होता है. हर चीज़ का problems होता है. So जिसकी वजह से मुझे बंद करना पड़ रहा है. Otherwise we could have spoken for a longer time. So I thank you so much anyways for coming in and giving this wonderful
Thank you for having me.
time. And I mean I seriously had a great time playing that game, and I'm telling you that's going to be a kick-ass format. Yeah, I would keep it in a bar so that it becomes an added advantage.
Correct.
Yeah, bar का type चाहिए तो मेरे को पूछ लेना. बता दो. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much, and I hope all the best for your career.
Thank you very much.
And we will meet after this, after work.
After the show, lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you.